اطلب العلم أخي فهو درب
بسم الله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seek refuge from the evil of our souls. I bear witness to testify there's no one worthy of worship other than Allah, and Muhammad is his slave and final messenger. We're discussing, inshallah, in this segment about a few manners that we should have towards specific creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we speak about manners in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He encompasses everything. When it comes to the worship, it's spiritual and physical and emotional, and it is always accompanied with the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Manners begin towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first and foremost. He is the sustainer, the creator. He is the only one worthy of worship, and besides any other God, no deity, no object, no tree is worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is the ultimate purpose and reason for our creation on this earth. And one of the ultimate manners towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to believe there's no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to worship. It is the most utmost disrespect to Allah when a person decides to believe something else is better than Allah, or something else can be claiming to have attributes or characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Nothing can resemble Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing is like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He is the all-hearer and all-seer. One of the things that we need to pay attention to is that worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala isn't only actions or physical actions that we do, or emotional actions that we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to. It's an attitude. It's our priority that we place in our lives towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, it's not just adhering to the salat when it's time to pray, when it's time to Ramadan, we just fast. No. Yani the Sahaba used to ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 6 months in advance for Ramadan, to witness Ramadan. What does that mean? Meaning they didn't just wake up next day, it's Ramadan, and khalas, they start fasting. No, they took precautions and they prepared themselves before earlier. This is the attitude they had towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another manner towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's supervision upon us, Him being watchful, Him being the one that watches every step that we take in our lives. Yani Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ هُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ, that He is all hearing and all seeing. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another verse, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ مُحِيطًا, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His knowledge surrounds everything and every action that we perform. As reported in the hadith of Jibreel, where the Prophet ﷺ, he says, he was asked by Jibreel alayhi salam, مَا الْإِحْسَانِ, and he says, أَن تَعْبُدَ اللَّهَ كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. To worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as though you can see Allah. Even though you cannot see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could see you. And one of the sinners came to one of the ulama of the Salaf, and he asked him, "Oh Shaykh, oh Imam, I want to sin." And the Imam says to him, "Of course you can sin, but on 3 conditions." And this man was shocked. How so, O Imam? He goes, "Yes, of course. Those 3 conditions, if they are applied, you could go and sin." He says, "Go look for a land that doesn't belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is not owned by Allah, and go sin over there." And so the man looked at himself and he says, the whole earth belongs to Allah. Secondly, go look for a place where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot see you. How can a person have the audacity to sin on a land or under the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching you. And thirdly, go sin. Go do everything you want, but do not eat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings. How dare anyone disobey Allah and go and eat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings? And one of the most disrespectful things to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a person that sins, cut corners in their ibadat, and starts to start taking shortcuts and loopholes and trying to fatwa shop according to their desires, and at the end go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in dua in times of calamity. How dare anyone go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is angry with them? And Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah says, do not be shocked, don't be surprised if the dua is not being answered, or it's being slowed down, and while its path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been blocked with sins.